I don't care when any uh, crazy intellectual or religious nut or even spiritual quack can tell you, but there is life in the universe. We are not alone. And there's a lot of deep explanations in which I can't fully seem to see in these experiences with being life elsewhere in the universe. I know, like there's all these different things like the Fermi paradox and whatnot, where they're like, well, if there was advanced life, or if there was life at all, there would have been some kind of life to have been advanced enough to have taken over the universe over billions of years. Uh, and this could be true, but also it's not that. It's just that it just something in my own inner experience doesn't show that it seems right. There's so many things out there. There's so many things out there that are like, like in our image in some way or another, like, their image, the Homo sapien human body, with like, different features. Depend how far those features go could vary from being like us, just like us, slightly different like us, to it's just way out there. Obviously there are things like reptilians, and some insectoids that have had realities just like this one, just with people like this in some way or another. It doesn't mean that some guy something making a video about this some subject or something, it wasn't they weren't making a clicking sound, that it was the equivalence of us speaking in this way. But it it shows that there's stuff like that out there. That, and all these technologies, all these things came out in some way or another, just like it did in your reality, because it was all going to happen no matter what. There's a technology for being available for, or at least there for the world in some way or another, is always there at some point or another. The technology always exists at some point, and at some point the equivalence of fire, what man has used for fire, just it was uh, just knocked out of the way. Um, wow, it's a powerful subject. Sorry that it's a little harder to talk about than others. Things out there in the universe can really vary from things closer to us than things that are just way out there. And the theory, I don't know what documentary it was that was talking about the theory of, like, um, that technology grew with people, kind of, or like whatever race that would have been, technology grew with it, kind of the way that we already had like fire, and that we had the ability to make a shelter of sorts, I guess, and whatnot. And yeah, like stuff like that kind of just like grew with them. There's just different ideas, and honestly, when people even throw that idea out of the table, no matter where they got it from, it's very interesting. I know that there's things out there that are like that. I personally haven't seen things where it's like when the equivalence of people with sticks and stones was like the equivalence of having some kind of device of sorts. There are things like these, because most things are already a part of like the nature. Like the most advanced things I saw was this life form, the technology. It was okay. It's very hard to explain because these things were like almost made out of the stars itself. They looked like they were just made out of stars, gas, and like a giant helmet thing with two little glowing eyes, and that's all they had. And they have like, so it was obviously there was something complicated to their structure that I'm not seeing all the way, but it was like these like creatures, these cosmic creatures that were massive in size, and they're supposed to be like the most advanced, almost second to like the very creators of the universe. They are like second to the creators of the universe. Very powerful, sacred life form. That which it's unknown. Like, because there's, for one, there's, I don't know if it's something that's the size of our, like, almost like part of our solar system. Is it that big? If it's the size of uh, like the entire galaxy, if it's that big and it's like the galaxy is a creature, or if like all these galaxies are merging into this creature, I can't fully see that. This creature is not bound to, like, gravity and all the rules, the physical rules. While it still is a part of the physical universe, it the laws of physics and whatnot probably will never apply to this thing, and these things. It's like these life forms that are just like these cosmic, celestial, powerful bodies that can do a lot, and it's like they have like this ultimate like structure. They found like tentacles to be more useful. And anyways, this is like the most advanced life form in the universe. And then there's certain things out there that are very powerful, like like there's things like we had evolved into like technology, and like droids and satellite stuff that like takes over the different worlds. It's really out there, honestly, on what could exist. But there's also be life forms that don't, again, the laws of gravity and whatnot, and stuff that they've discovered in physics here on Earth might not apply to them, and we might seem a little more bound to the Earth than they are. But there's a lot of things that go on and on out there. I'd have to say there was also some very beautiful looking life forms, look at the promising, and I'm being a little sarcastic when I say this, look at, the promising beauty of men and women on this world when they're always these stunning looking people that we see, or whatever we find attractive, maybe. There's these beautiful looking life forms out there, and some of them don't have hair, but they have like something in their like cranium, and it makes up for that, I guess, and it's a really, really wonderful looking thing. Honestly, they glow, or they float, or they're like different colors and they glow, and a lot of them do float. It seems like that gravity doesn't apply to many things out there, and it's overall just amazing to sit there and think about like this stuff sometimes as it comes to me. um, and there was, like I said, there's like the reptilian reality, and there's insectoid, and there's like an elephant-headed race that somehow coexisted interdimensionally, and there's not a lot on them, but like they exist in a world just like this, this third-dimensional reality with our limitations and all, but just in the way that we're evolving, that this reality is evolving, that we have technology, and how where we're at, they're all at, and it's very, very interesting to see it like that. So and there's so many things out there. Obviously, you can go on a scale far beyond, being in this image with like hands and feet. As I said, there's things out there that could have evolved somewhat in some way. I think the main universal image has been like in this, as we are. Um, I think that's been like the main image of us. But yeah, it's really amazing, honestly. I want to leave with a few notes. One of them being, one of the ideas is that, okay, so I'm not a big big believer for like the Fermi paradox and whatnot, but the idea is that we're all in our existence, and we could have all been one of many things. We could have been all these different alien life forms that I'm trying to talk about that are out there, and that vary in so many shapes and sizes. But we were found in the human image. We were found in the human image, and that was found to be the most beautiful, I suppose, the most perfect, maybe, and the creators put us in this existence, and that's what they go with for this phase, and we all will probably wake up in another reality, in another phase one day. I don't know what or where, and it'll be something. It'll be something beyond our existence, beyond our wonder. It'll be something beyond everything. So it'll be reality, and when I'm talking about this, like a thought in my head starts coming out where it's like I'm seeing like a ancient like temple with like markings and hieroglyphic stuff on it, and I see like some kind of like tentacle thing, glowing tentacle, like slap out onto it as I'm sitting here trying to talk about like we might wake up in another reality one day. See, this is how wild my mind just seems to go with this stuff, and that's why I don't say this enough, but I feel so blessed with this experience. And at the same time, you know, yes, it's a curse to live like this, to have had expectations about something great's going to come to me one day. I know it, and nothing ever just comes up like that. Um, yeah, it's just amazing. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you got this far.